What's going on, everyone? It is April 16th, 2018. Hope you all had a great weekend. Shout out to Joe. He asked a great question on Friday. He was asking, what do you do when you're a great lyricist and or musician, but you can't sing? And that's a great question. You know, I'm sure a lot of people have that. Now, I thought of a few different ideas that you could think of and try to advance on your own. But the first one I would say is, well, you can start developing your voice. You know, just because you weren't born with a good voice doesn't mean you can't develop that and become a pretty good singer, at least a recordable singer. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes a lot of practice, and you know that's going to definitely be the longest road to get where you want to be, but it's probably the most beneficial. Because one, you understand how to express your idea on a whole other dimension now, and you're just going to be realizing that there's so many more avenues to what you can do with your abilities once you get there. You know, so start off with practicing scales, sing the major scales, up and down the scale, jump around from note to note. Trying to sing in the middle of the note. You don't want to be above the note or below. You want to be right directly in the middle. You know, you want to be building your confidence. Majority of the reasons why people aren't very good at singing is because of their confidence in their ability. So I'm gonna say this time and time again. It's 90% confidence, 10% technique. So if you're practicing all the time, and you start developing that mindset, because it's a belief system. If you have the belief system, everything else will follow suit. You know, if you're doing the right thing, staying on top of breath control, staying on top of singing correctly in the key of the scale, making sure that you have good enough rhythm that if you're playing guitar, that you could write a melody that complements the guitar. You know, and one thing you could be doing as an artist to develop your rhythm is listen to what the music is doing. And try to get your words to hit each simultaneously with the hits of the music. So if you're strumming, try to write a rhythm that is following the strumming pattern. You know, just like if you're rapping to a trap beat, you might want to follow a rhythm that's kind of choppy like the hi-hats are. Now, you know, another thing you do is get a vocal coach. Go once a week, see a vocal instructor, work with them. They could kind of guide you on what you're doing wrong. And then, you know, once you feel comfortable, you can start just practicing those things on your own. You know, so that's the first step, or the longest step, but I think it's the most beneficial, and that's just developing your voice, learning how to write using your voice. You don't need to be a crazy singer like a Freddie Mercury or Robert Plant or like a Whitney Houston. I mean, the guy from Nickelback, Kruger, something, I forgot his name. Kroger, he doesn't have the most exceptional voice, but they have hits on the radio. I know they get a lot of shit from people, but they still have hits on the radio, unlike those people talking shit. And you know, there's tons of artists that are like that. So it's more about how you to figure out how to use your voice than necessarily being a good singer. I mean, what exactly is a bad singer? Like, I would say it's somebody that has lacking rhythm, lacking pitch, and maybe like confidence. Those are the obvious things, but those are skills that you could develop. So you have to first change your mindset and start seeing it from a view of, well, I could get better, I could improve on this. If I'm already great at writing lyrics and I could write nice melodies on the guitar or on the piano, then I should just start practicing my vocals every day, spend the most focus on that, and be confident in what I'm doing. Now, if you don't really have time, or you don't want to put in the time, whatever the case may be, another option you could do is starting a band. You know, you write the lyrics, you write a lot of the musical composition. Now you find a band, maybe a drummer, bass player, guitar, and a singer, and then you teach them the parts that they should be playing, and then you start practicing. You know, I know there's a lot of struggle of getting a band together early on, finding dedicated people with similar schedules, etc. But you know, that's definitely an idea for you to think about. You can put up advertisements on Craigslist, like, hey, looking for a band, or you could go on Facebook groups in whatever state you're in or whatever country you're in. You could check out music blogs online, put out flyers on college campuses or around the local, live scene area. New Haven for me would be Connecticut, Hartford, every city, New York City, anywhere you're at. So that's something to think about. Now, if you you don't really make music that is so much of a band oriented, and you're more of a singer-songwriter, but you still suck at singing, you could always find a singer, turn it into a like a collaboration kind of piece, so maybe someone that has a pretty good voice and they're not too shy about singing, then just set up some time for them to come by and you start working on music, work out ideas, work on melodies, kind of decide on what the vibe is you want to be going for. I have a client who, he's not the best singer in the world, and he'll be the first one to say that, but he's got a good knowledge of music, and what he's done, I've worked on 2 albums with him, and each album he's come up with all the composition, and then he'll just hire people to, session musicians to play out the music. So if he'll hire a drummer, guitarist, and sometimes he'll sing on the songs. Sometimes most of the time he hires his own singers. So that's something to think about. He's even branched off from just doing like rock music, classic rock kind of music, to he just did a pop song where I forgot what website he used, but he found some singer online and he got in contact with her. She was on The Voice, or she was like on The Voice or something, and yeah, she sang on the song and it sounds great. It was really cool. Even for me, just to be the producer for that, just getting a cappella, like the stems from somewhere in I don't even know where they are, LA or something, and kind of putting that together on my instrumental. So it was really cool. And it's always awesome hearing, that the client is happy that it sounds exactly what they imagined it would. So that's the goal you want to be striving for as producers. Another idea, if you are a good songwriter but you can't really sing, is you can start recording demos, and you could call them reference tracks. And basically you can shop these out. You write a 3-minute singer-songwriter song, an acoustic guitar, and a singing, it's kind of folkish or something, hypothetically. You don't have to have a good voice, and you could still record the song and send the demo out to record labels or anyone that's looking for talent. And basically what that would be showing them is like, hey, I have this idea for a song. If you have an artist that could turn this into a real song and turn this into a profit, let's talk business. That's the #1 job in the industry, is the songwriter. And most of the people in this industry writing the songs, they might not have the chops to be the artist, and they found their niche writing the songs. The songwriter is the top job. It's bigger than the artist. It's bigger than the producer. If you don't have a song, you don't have, those other people don't have a job either, So there's definitely a lot of opportunities online. Even you can check out musicxray.com, I believe taxi.com, and they're basically websites where you could get placements. They'll be like, hey, they're like the middlemen, and hey, we're looking for upcoming artists, or we're looking for these kind of songs for a new country artist, blah, blah, blah. You could submit those songs and potentially get them placed in the industry, and basically, they would get remade with their own artists, whatever the deal may be. So that's another opportunity you can think about. Another thing you could do is you could try to make majority of your music have minimal vocals, You could do something more progressive where you're working more on the instrumentation, and then every once in a while you follow it up with like a verse or some type of refrain, anything like that. It all depends on what you're trying to do. So you kind of, as an artist, or as a songwriter, whatever your role is, you have to think of a goal and you have to have a focus. So if your goal is to be a big time band, then I mean that's a no-brainer. Put a band together. If your focus is I want to be a great artist in the industry, then you need to figure out a way to use your voice. You need to figure out a way to get your music out there. Now, it's different for every person, you know. No one's equal, so it's like everyone's skill sets are at different levels with each other. So, you know, the biggest thing, and I can't stress this enough, I'll say it again, it's just confidence. 90% of singing is confidence. So even if you know that you're conscious that you don't necessarily have the greatest sounding voice, you have to be confident in how you use your voice. So that comes from practice, as well as being observant of musical feelings that you can create with your voice. It's just matching frequencies, you know. What else is there I can think of quick? Oh, another good thing is get recording time. Get in the studio and work with a music producer. That way they could help develop you on a individual, personal level, you know. Maybe you have pretty good rhythm, but you're just really pitchy. So then the producer will know how to help sharpen up your skills as far as pitch goes. Likewise, music is muscle memory. Recording is muscle memory. So you have to constantly start doing that and get in that mindset. And that way you develop that muscle that you don't have right now. You know, we have to, in music especially, there's all these muscles that we don't even know we have, that we have to consciously work out and strengthen that, and that kind of shines through into other aspects of music. You know, I'll play piano for like 3 weeks straight and not pick up the guitar at all, and then when I pick up the guitar, I'm still playing even better than I was still practicing, because I'm working on, you know, finger dexterity, anything like that, the finesse, all that. And that translates over to guitar as well as other instruments. It's all about how your mind's working with it. So yeah, a couple options. I would suggest, honestly, just practice, and find your personality as a singer. Figure out how to use your voice with the music. You don't have to be a great singer. You just need to know how to use your vocals. So whether that means you sing and you don't hold out any of the notes and you just kind of talk fast, like bluegrass music, you know, that singing is cool because they're talking fast and they have a little bit of vibrato, compared to, you know, like a pop ballad where the focus is the singing, and that is the time you want your voice to really shine, as far as crescendos and vibrato and tone, rhythm, and all that, you know. So just figure out what kind of music you're making. Use your phone, record your voice often. That way you can hear the playback. Try to develop the ability to play along to singing. Then, you know, that's going to take you a far way. Whether you play the piano, guitar, violin, it doesn't matter. Practice learning how to both sing and play your craft. Now, if you need recording time, I run a recording studio in Manchester, Connecticut called Onyx Sound Lab. Feel free to check us out at onyxsoundlab.com. Our rates are different for every project, so just give us a call. As well as, if you need beats, you can check out my beat store at hanasushibeats.com. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll definitely try to get in touch with you, alright? So yeah, feel free to like, share, and comment. I'll talk to you soon.